But you know Mademoiselle Fionn, the sister of your good friend, the Lord Blackwood, I think? He bowed. She curtsied, a flutter of lashes over dark brown eyes. Of course I needn't introduce you to my sister. Serena beamed as she took Viola's arm snugly. Now, shall we have tea? All that dancing has given me a dreadful thirst.
My dear, Alex said, if you will excuse us, I will take the gentlemen to seek out stronger refreshment. Seaton, Yale, Lucas, shall we? Superb suggestion, Yale murmured, and casting Jin a grinning glance, moved toward the door. Jin bowed to the ladies and followed willingly. It was one thing to dream of a woman's eyes and lips and touch from hundreds of miles away, and to regret the distance from her. It was another entirely to remain in the same room with her, his blood spinning with need and that hot thread of alarm, and to remain any saner than she. He had returned, just like that. Viola had no warning of it, no announcement even of his name by the servants who seemed to otherwise declare it each time a member of the company of ladies and gentlemen at the park yawned or blinked. Not this time. In the midst of the minuet he had appeared, standing at the threshold to the drawing-room as though he had been watching the spirited group romping about the floor for ages, and was perfectly content to remain there indefinitely. And now, as the party gathered in the drawing-room before dinner, he again enjoyed a comfortable position, this time by the piano. Lady Fiona flashed her pretty dark lashes at him, showing him her sheet music. Madame Rouge stood nearby. But the thrice-widowed Frenchwoman of indeterminate age and a remarkable froth of black organza did not bother Viola, despite her sharp eyes and elegant looks. Only the lovely, highly maidenly Fiona mattered, the girl she had come to like very much, and felt absolutely wretched envying now. Lady Fiona had his attention, and it made her sick to her stomach. He wore a dark coat, buff trousers and white linen, as though he had not come from the road only that afternoon. But so he had always appeared aboard ship, in command of himself and of everyone else he encountered, including his very foolish captain. She found it difficult to breathe properly, and she felt like a ninny. Violet Leveille was most certainly not a ninny. She would best this. This time she would not allow him to affect her. Now she had her family around her, the affection of her sister and the Baron, and new friends, however grand they all seemed at times. Moreover, she had the strength to resist him. In Trinidad, her feelings had blindsided her, but now she knew the danger in which she stood. Even without her pistol and dirk, she would fight it. And if that didn't work, she was not averse to digging her weapons out of her travelling trunk and threatening him to depart at dagger's point. Beside her, Serena and Mr. Yale discussed potted plants or piquet or something equally mysterious. She hadn't an idea. But the Baron's stepdaughter, Diantha Lucas, apparently did. Lord Abernathy and Lord Drake played for prize orchids, but it ended in a draw. Her wild chestnut curls bobbed, obscuring a pair of blue eyes shaded with curling lashes. I read it in the gossip column in the Times. How eccentric of them, Serena chuckled. Mr. Yale's mouth slipped into a grin Viola had come to recognize. That grin said, I have consumed a bottle of brandy this afternoon, and cannot be moved by anything, even foolish lords playing cards for hundreds of pounds over exotic plants. But he only said, How admirable that you read the paper, Miss Lucas. Beneath a liberal sprinkling of spots no young lady could like, Diantha's cheeks and chin clung firmly to the roundness of childhood, and then some. But her regard remained bright. Papa does not like the paper, but I learned to enjoy it at the Ballet Academy, of course. Of course. His silvery eyes glistened. Mr. Yale, you should drink less and read the paper more often. Diantha! I am only saying, Serena, that handsome young men ought not to ruin their lives in this manner.
There are ever so many alternatives